this video, I'm going to look at how to find/check solutions algebraically. So we're trying to figure out like what is a solution and what is not, or if you had solved a problem and you want to check it. Okay. So I'm going to give you various different types of equations and inequalities. We're going to look at how can we check our solutions, or how can we verify something is a solution and find that it is a solution, or maybe not a solution. Okay. So we have the equation 3x minus 6y equals 18. So this is our original equation. And we need to determine if the following are solutions. So we have 4, negative 1. So when we have an ordered pair, remember, the first number is always your x. The second number is always your y. So x comes first, y comes second. What we're going to do is we're going to take this x and y and we're going to plug it in for its corresponding x and y up here and just see if it works. And I'll explain what it means by it works. So I'm just going to rewrite this equation, but anytime I run into x, I'm going to put a 4 in its place. Anytime I find a y, I'm going to put a negative 1 in its place. So we would start with a 3, and then I need an x, but I'm going to take the x out and put this 4 in its place. So I plug the 4 in for the x. Next, I have a minus 6. There's my minus 6. And I would have a y, but I'm going to take the y out and put a negative 1 in its place. And this is supposed to be equal to 18. Okay? So here's how you check whether this is a solution or not. And you're going to have access to a calculator, in my class at least. I'm going to type the entire left side of this equal sign into a calculator to simplify it for me. Okay? When you're checking solutions, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Let the calculator take some of the load if you can. So I got a 3, parentheses, 4, parentheses, minus 6, parentheses. Now this is a negative 1, so be careful when you type it in a calculator. So I have a subtraction of 6, but now I have a negative 1, parentheses. That's the entire left side of this equal sign typed in my calculator, and I hit enter. The left side of this equal sign simplifies to 18. The right side, there's nothing to simplify. It is also 18. You see how we got 18 and 18? Well, what that means is this right here, 4, negative 1, yes, it is a solution, okay? It means it is a solution. So I'm going to check another potential solution for this problem. So now I'm checking negative 3 and 2. And again, I'm going to plug this in for x and y. So we got a 3 from my original equation. Instead of x, I'm going to plug in negative 3. Plug the negative 3 in for x. Negative 3 in for x. Minus 6. Instead of a y, let's plug in that 2. And this is equal to 18. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this entire left side into a calculator. 3, parentheses, a negative 3, parentheses, subtraction 6, parentheses, 2, parentheses. I'm going to type that all in a calculator, okay? If we type this all in a calculator, 3, negative, whoops, all over the place. 3, negative 3, minus 6, 2. If I type it all in, I get negative 21. Negative 21 is equal to 18. See how these two numbers are not equal. They are not equal. So what does that tell us about this point? No, not a solution, okay? So you would have to end up with a statement that is equal, like same numbers on both sides. When you have two numbers that are not equal, it is not a solution. So we should have equal numbers to get a solution, unequal numbers if it's not a solution. Different type of equations, same type of idea. So I got a 3 and a 15. So I'm going to plug the 3 in for x, the 15 in for y, and let's see if it works. So I got a 15 equals, replace the x with a 3, so in parentheses, squares on the outside, minus 2, parentheses, 3, plus 8. The left side of this equal sign is going to stay a 15. I could type all of this into a calculator, just like I have it written down. Parentheses, 3, parentheses, the square on the outside, minus 2, parentheses, 3, parentheses, plus 8. You type all that into a calculator to speed this up. You get 11. These two numbers are not equal, so no, not a solution. One more of those, -2 and 16. Plugging -2's in for x's, plugging 16's in for y's. So we're going to have 16, because I replaced the y, equals, now is where I'm plugging in that -2 and squaring it, -2 times -2 plus 8. So I replaced my x's with -2, replace my y with a 16, and then it's off to the calculator. This one's a little bit heavy, so I will show this one on screen. I'm typing in parentheses -2 squared. Okay, that is a negative, not a subtraction right now. Negative, not a subtraction right now. -2 squared. This is a subtraction, -2. Parentheses, -2 plus 8. You hit enter, you get 16. The left side of this equal sign has a 16 over there with it, so we got 16 equals 16. Those are the same numbers, so yes, this is a solution. Final problem I want to show in this video is inequalities. Very, 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 very similar, but slight differences in the end. So it's the same idea of plugging in x and y, plugging in x and y. I just want to show you what happens in the end. So we're plugging in 1's in for x's, 5 in for y's. So this would have 5 is greater than or equal to 3 times 1 minus 7. Left side is going to stay a 5. Right side, that 3 times 1 minus 7. 3 times 1 minus 7, type that all in a calculator if you want, you get -4. Now here's what's different about these types of problems. On the problems that were equal signs, you want the same thing on both sides. With inequalities, it's a little bit different. We have to follow the inequality. This says 5 is greater than or equal to -4. In other words, this is trying to say 5 is bigger or equal to -4. The inequality should always open towards the bigger number. So is 5 bigger than or equal to -4? Yes. Yes, it is. 5 is bigger than -4. So what do we know about this point? Yes, a solution. Nothing to it. Showing you one more, 5 and -3. So my -3 in for the y value, the +5 in for the x value. Left side does clean up there, it's just -3. Right side, 3 times 5 is 15. Minus 7, should have typed that in the calculator, but whatever. You get -3 is greater than or equal to 8. So remember, the inequality should be opening towards the bigger number. So is -3 bigger than or equal to 8? No, it is not. So no, not a solution. No, not a solution. So that's just a quick way on how to find, check, verify solutions. Plug it in. For equal signs, make sure both sides are equal to each other. For inequalities, just make sure the inequality is a truthful statement. Like 5 is greater than or equal to -4. That is a true statement. -3 is not bigger than 8, so it's not a true statement. True statements give you answers. Statements that aren't true, not answers. And there you have it.